Hello and welcome to Tyranny. These are my people here, right? They're hiding and skulking in the shadows. Let's stop doing that. Beast, woman, mystic, horde. We were heading towards Voices of Nurat. Got a cough? Sorry about that. What did it say here? Dead people. Yep. Actually, no. They were still alive, just waiting to be dead. Beastmen 10. Any of these beastmen talkable too? Does not look like it. Okay. Say anything useful? Sniff sniff. So no problem. Right, so which way to go next? This way, up these stairs here, right? Guess that'll have to be the way to go. These Vex, Lyric, these are merchants or something. Yeah, this was a merchant, right? Yeah, not allowed to sell us anything. Yep, that is true. Right, up this way and onwards. Group of people standing over here. Is this a rest function of some sort, maybe? Alright. Sickle North. We need the bodies, you middling pissers. Face red, vines popping in her neck. The Scarlet Fury screams at the horde clustered before her. She waves her arms wildly as she shouts, almost dance-like in her agility, a blade clutched in each hand. Unlike you cockered pignets, these conscripts can survive a battle. Was that to me or someone else? One of the horde members spits a blackish mist of herbs and phlegm at the Scarlet Fury's chest, so they say to save their necks, but what good is the worth of oathbreakers and cowards? I see. Furious and nearly faster than the naked eye can follow, she slashes a return strike. A splotch of red blooms across the offending spitter's chest to match her flesh sputum stain. The crowd tenses like a coiled spring, ready to hurl themselves into a bloody fracas. I don't want to get involved. You just deal with that. You fight amongst yourselves. Well, if I speak to them, they'll start fighting again, right? Yeah, what's going on? No. I don't care. Scraps of foods and stuff. Sanguari here. Your eyes, don't you? Okay, see how busy you are. So what does this do? Rest for 8 hours. Okay. The answer to that would be no. Anything else we can do down here? Scarlet Fury Camp, Blood Chanter Camp. These are items, right? Yeah, we can go scrounge for stuff, but no need, I think. Yeah, I'll just you sort that out amongst yourselves. That's all fine. Voices of Nurat is over there. And Seven Toes is over here. I guess Voices of Nurat. Go speak with you. The Voices of Nurat regards you with an unreadable expression. Alright. Sometimes we ponder the great unwielding things that is our army. We try to imagine ourselves elsewhere, on some distant shore without a care in the world. But then we would miss all the mayhem, the carnage, and the beautiful chorus of screams that follows. Better to stay the course, and have the little fun. Fatebinder? As if proclaiming and resolving the same edict weren't impressive enough, you found the temerity to reject Graven Ash and support our right to conquer these lands. You deserve a just reward when this war is over, but it's too early to congratulate ourselves while there's plenty of wars still to fight. What do you need to know? We're dizzy with answers. Okay. Let's go. What's your plan? I'm ready to talk strategy. Of course, you have questions. We'd be disappointed if you didn't have any. Our first priority is to humiliate that piss bucket Graven Ash. Really? Really? But we have a better chance of it once every corner of the tiers is wearing red. Do you see our design, Fatebinder? Does our madness complement our method? We invite every man, woman and child who draws breath and occupies his fingernails of the peninsula to join the Scarlet Chorus. So a conquest by invitation, how very polite. Ebb disapproves. Oh, don't encourage him, he's already got his own small council of sycophants in his head. Isn't it? Graven Ash would slash and burn the whole continent. We must counter his wanton evil with acceptance and tolerance for these poor tiersmen. Conquest is a delicate matter. It needs feeding, watering, soft caress, and lullaby before bed. We still invite the leaders of the resistance to join us. If we have their leaders, the people will follow. You will bring them to us, yes? Chiefs and the asserts of chiefdom. As for how you factor into these plans, that is part up to you. We have many ingenious ingots in the fire. It's more of a question of what piques your interests. The Blade Grave is a beautiful pocket of disorder. An edict shreds the land to ribbons, and soldiers by the hundreds are led into the furnace of war. Angry sons of old stalwarts, thubbing themselves unbroken, clash spears with the disfavored. We can use the edict and conflict to our benefit. They keep the disfavored occupied and the tiers within our grasp. While these idiot juggernauts bash each other into ruins, we can extract what we need. The daughter of Graven Ash has been a prisoner in these stalwarts' wrenches. Secure her for us and fetch her to Cacophony straight away. Inviting Ash's progeny into the fold is an advantage we cannot ignore. Also seek out Jagged Remedy in Trapper's Junction. He has cornered a beleaguered unit of Unbroken. Help him recruit their leader, Matthias, into the fold, that he might help us reach the jewel of the realm, the great keep of Sentinel Stand. A document of great power, the Silent Archive, rests in the Burning Library. The archive is said to hold many secrets, of any of which we can twist to our advantage. One of our gang bosses, the Censor, seeks entrance to this queenly treasure. Aid her in her search and dispatch her back to us with any findings. Report back to us when you're finished. Our intelligence may be of use to you. Right, what can you tell me about Blade Grave? Right before our conquest, it was the region of stalwart, warlike, and fiercely independent in character. Regent bloodline ruled by their torrid and often inbred lines of succession. Of course, the Edict of Storm has thrown that all into disorder. Who rules the area now? A complex question with no clear answer. The Unbroken Legion, a rabble group of veterans from The stalwart army struggled to maintain hold by force of arms. Behind the walls of Sentinel stand, the last of the regents lives out his days, no doubt thinking himself as strong and relevant as ever. Tell me about Graven Ash's daughter. As severe and uncompromising as her idiot father, we would liken her to a tower shield with a voice like a ram's horn warped out of tune. That's not a nice description. We met the girl but once, and we nearly came to blows. If war was the passage of years have softened her temper, then we should get along magnificently when you present her at Cacophony. Okay, Edict of Storms. Swirling maelstroms now blast the lands and the Sentinel stand. The fortified heart of the Graven Blade is both trapped and imprisoned by Kyros's edict. The coward regent who survived the war hides there to this day, protecting and imprisoned by Kyros' anger. Protected and imprisoned, okay. Let me ask you about something else. Burning Library. A repository of books engulfed in the flame of Kyros's edict, yet the pages refuse to burn. The sages cast protective magic over their ancient archive. Books by the thousand lay bare for the reading, but forbidden and hot to the touch. Then there's the greatest treasure of all, the silent archive, an intelligent living text. The archive is safeguarded in the lowest depths of the labyrinth, locked away from undeserving eyes. Our censor, dispatched to the library, seeks the archive as we speak. Okay, silent archive. Must you bore us with your incessant ponderings? Go speak with our lackey, Seven Toes. She can weather the relentless assault of your curiosity. Okay, I've had a certain number here. Fatebinder, help me. Chrysanthia. Help over there, you can't let them touch me. Please do something, convict me if you can set me free. What crimes have you committed and what will warrant my involvement? Whether I can help or not depends whether you're willing to join the chorus. I'll deal with it later. Sorry, I am not in the habit of condemning others to mercy. What crimes have you committed that would warrant my involvement? She perks up at your response, slaughter closer to the bars of her cage. Well, let's see. There was the time I killed an ox, even knowing that they were rare. It was an accident, but I still rode her right off that bluff. She strokes the bar as she thinks, reaching for something stronger. Once I spit on my mother. She was furious when she found me dabbling with earth magics. I frigged my cousin when we were 15, set a mountainside on fire. Oh, and Kyros is my middle name. Okay. For your crimes, I sent you to time already served in that cage. I see to it that you're released immediately. You unlock for the capital punishment of usurping the Auror's name. I can sentence you to a swift beheading on the morrow. Due to a lengthy list of ridiculous crimes and under the jurisdiction of the court, I hereby sentence you to death, a slow and torturous one, for wasting my time. None of these crimes warrant punishment more severe than you will suffer at the hands of your interrogators. Unfortunately, I have no legal cause to free you. Very nice try, but I don't appreciate being used. The courts help you. I need to think it over. So, which way do we go here? You are a disfavored. Disfavored. Ha. Well, I'll not release you immediately, and I don't think I'll kill you right now. I was thinking of going with, being killed by tomorrow. Right, I'll go number 4. I'll just ignore you. Curse you, Fatebinder, she rattles a bar of her cage, the ground around you trembles, you have no human decency, cursed a lot of you, Chorus and Kairos too. All of you be damned by the Archons, I hope the crows eat your corpse on the battlefield. Well, that was an impassionate outburst. I suppose she's getting what's coming to her then. Okay, so she's now named. So, Seven Toes. Right, hail Fatebinder. The voices of Narat ordered me to answer any of your pestering questions, so I guess that's what I'm here to do. She scoffs, not that I'll call a lieutenant's work, but I'm not here to question the voices. You're clearly going places in the world, Seven. You should take pride in that. Verse looks at the lieutenant up and down with an approving nod. She bows. Feels like a century since we ran together in old Azure. You had more hair, and I had all 10 toes, and better balance to boot. I always saw myself as more of a gang boss, but in the end I carved out this cozy little niche for myself. By the time this war is done, we'll be unrecognizable, either lining mass graves or leading forces from the rear. So what do you need from me? Okay, how do you and Verse know each other, I guess? She was my gang boss back when we were called the Splintered Darlings. Now, Splitted Darlings. Verse had just come off her other gang, the Seven Toes thinks herself, the Bonnie Wastrels, all of them mauled or eaten by beasts in the Azure. Of course, you're right, those weren't easy days, but damned if we didn't walk away with our lives and a few stories to our name. Tell me about yourself, I guess. I started out like most Scarlet Chorus rats, conscripted off the farm and armed with a pitchfork. Didn't even take me long to warm up to the idea of Kairos' army. We had more freedom than the tiers ever allowed, and I've never been opposed to joining the winning side. I didn't want to see the whole war from the front lines, so the first order of business was to kill my gang boss and take his place. Easily done, he was a louse. I ran with at least half a dozen gangs since the start of the conquest, and it funneled me in all the way to cacophony. It's not an easy life, but there's no lack of amusement to be had and plenty of opportunities for advancement. If you're curious how I got this gig, you can check the previous lieutenant over there. She thumbs over to a still figure impaled on a spike. What do you think of the voices of Narat? He's the boss, he calls the shot, I follow, I don't ask a lot of questions. She glances around, uncomfortable. Do you enjoy your work at the Scarlet Chorus? I enjoy surviving, and right now the Chorus is the only way to do it. Do this favor, don't allow foreigners into the Legion until the war is over and the Tears is on the Kairos' heel. It is red or dead. I have questions about my first task. Okay, so the same questions here. What can you tell me about the burning library? And Ben was a silent archive, maybe? Hey, what do I know considering the place's library? I guess we're talking about books, or many books. Go find a sage and beat it out of him, okay? That certainly won't be necessary. The silent archive is centuries-long passion project of the School of Ink and Quill. A magical repository of knowledge that generations of sages have built upon the ages. I know I was never allowed to see it. 30 years of service, and I still need another decade to be considered for the invitation. What is this about the edict? The sages refused to bend the knee and give up their research. What is more, they defeated the Vellum Citadel by raining fire on the heads of our armies. Enough was enough, so Kairos sent the place to burn. The sages must have laid some protection on the library because it seemed to burn without burning, you know. It just stands there in flames, not turning to ash like it should. And who's the censor? One of the voices' gang bosses. She takes the duty of controlling information. She has here, as if the Archon couldn't do it himself. My guess, she wants to be the next Archon of Secrets, so she's positioning herself as the middle woman between the voices and in any words of wisdom he considers valuable. We'll see how long that lasts. Okay, ask something else. I don't think I'll decide, I'll just think about it. Bodies of these favorite commanders. Really? This went way more sour between the disfavored and the Scarlet Chorus than I imagined they would do it this early. Right, so journal, what does it say here? Trial of Archons, evidence against both of them, the distance of war, travel to Cacophony, speak to Saboteur where we want to go next, and stirring versions. Okay, so I have to speak to the guy and decide one of the two quests that we should go on. Fair enough. Scarlet Chorus favorite 2. Glad to see you're still alive. Cacophony is good, determined blood like yours. Grinning, Saboteur raises his fist in salute. Questions about my first task, I think here. The Daughter of Graven Ash or the Burning Library. I am completely sure I will not hand the Daughter of Graven Ash over to the Scarlet Chorus, because I don't want to make them even more powerful. So I think it's going to be Burning Library first. Burning Library entrance is now unlocked on the world map.
You see that?
Oh, something hidden somewhere. That box there. Is this considered stealing? Or just grab stuff? Well, they didn't attack me. Alright, so guess we're heading outwards and going somewhere else. Right, I will actually take a break here. Thank you very much for watching and hope to see you again soon.